Hey, I'm MJ Sweet for SweetSpetch.com, and today we're going to show you how to adjust your rear derailleur. But first, let's talk about what your rear derailleur is actually doing. Your rear derailleur is responsible for moving your chain from one cog to the next, and it does this by pushing or pulling the chain in an exact amount that's determined by the shifter. Now there's only a few things that can cause your rear derailleur to malfunction. That's hanger alignment, your limit adjustment, cable tension, or just flat out broken equipment.
Almost all of these issues can be repaired with the following tools: a Phillips head screwdriver, 5mm Allen wrench, a shop rag, and some chain lube. Before diving into adjustments, you first want to make sure your equipment is intact. Start by inspecting the cable and housing. Look to see if your cable or housing is frayed or broken. If it is, then you need to replace it. Next, make sure your shifter has the correct amount of clicks. Do this by shifting through all the gears. It should have one less click than the amount of gears on your cassette. Lastly, inspect the rear derailleur for damage, such as broken jockey wheels, bent parts, or broken springs. Beyond jockey wheels, parts are pretty much unavailable for most derailleurs. If you find this kind of damage, then the derailleur most likely should be replaced. You can easily see if your derailleur hanger is misaligned. Simply look at your rear derailleur by standing behind the bike. You're looking to see if your chain runs in a straight, vertical line from the jockey wheel to the top of the cassette. If it doesn't run in a straight line, then your hanger or derailleur is bent and needs to be realigned or replaced. The rear derailleur limit screws do exactly what the name implies. They limit how far the rear derailleur can move. Before adjusting the limit screws, you first want to detach the cable from the derailleur. This stops any mishaps that can be caused by incorrect cable tension. Adjust the high limit screw first. Move the derailleur into the correct position by tightening or loosening the screw. You should be able to see the derailleur move in both directions. The correct position is when the upper jockey wheel lines up below the highest gear. If you have an old derailleur with a worn spring, or just as a rule of thumb, it's okay to cheat the derailleur about 1 millimeter past the outside of the highest gear. After your high limit is adjusted, use your thumb while pedaling to push the derailleur into the lowest gear. Once there, adjust the low limit screw to limit the derailleur from moving past the lowest gear. Push with your thumb to make sure it doesn't go into the spokes. Once your low limit is adjusted, simply pedal the bike to return it back to the highest gear. Now you're ready to adjust the cable tension. Start by returning all barrel adjusters to the closed position. Then make sure all the cable is released from the shifter by shifting it into the highest gear. Finally, pull the cable taut with your fingers and clamp it to the rear derailleur. There should be a small notch in the derailleur to show which side of the bolt the cable clamps to. Remove any slack from the cable by loosening one of the barrel adjusters. The last step to the process is to fine-tune the derailleur. Do this by pedaling and shifting. Start by shifting up one gear. If the derailleur doesn't complete the shift or stays in the smallest cog, then tighten the cable by opening the barrel adjuster. If the derailleur overshifts or goes past the desired gear, then the cable is too tight and should be loosened by either closing the barrel adjuster or detaching the cable and resetting it with more slack. Finally, add some lubrication to the pivot points on the derailleur. Chain lube works just fine. The final outcome should be smooth, quiet shifting. Watch our video on lubricating your shift cables to help your bike shift even better. Thanks for watching.